Okay, few technical difficulties, but I think I got this mapped out now. All right. So my goal was always to just use one cable and not have 50 different things going on over here to make this work. And I've figured it out. I think, and if I have a difficulty in the video, it's because I literally just figured out last night. And then this morning I got up and had some technical difficulties, but I'm still trying to do this for you. Okay, so check it out. So the OP-1 can work as a Bluetooth, but it also can work as a, obviously we know as a synth in itself. But one of the problems is when you send the audio out through the USB-C, it's going to go in and it's going to act as what they call interface, but it works, as you can see here, as the output route and the input source. And what happens is you get a bunch of feedback. So I was like, how could I fix it where I wouldn't get any feedback, but still be able to use it in this capacity and still be able to use it as a Bluetooth controller, because I want to be able to do both. And I figured out if you record something on a synth track for 6 seconds, and then let's say, and then just do shift and turn the volume of that particular sample to infinite, where it's no longer there, right? It's gone. It'll come up blank. So I'll show you what I mean. So see how it's there? Turn it all the way down to infinite, and then save that as a blank setting. So you'll see in my snapshots, I have a blank one. All right, there it is, blank. All right, so then I'm going to show you a workflow that I like to do. You can take scalar, there's scalar, and use it Bluetooth basically into here with a sample. So I'm going to go to back here, and let's say you pick the piano, the upright, which is one of my favorites that they've made on here. So you're hearing two things. Sorry about that. Let me fix that right now, because I have it set on here, so I have to turn that off. All right, so it's Bluetooth right now, and what you can do is go in scalar. So I'm using the Bluetooth MIDI. This is like a MIDI controller, right? To control chords into scalar, and I'm using the upright piano, and then you can record some keys. So that's a great start step, right? To if you're the kind of person that records your like piano or your chords first. That's the way I work. All right. So cool. Got that step. So that's one thing. That's why you see 4 racks here. One's for the keys or the chords. This is bass. This is drums. This is like my lead. All right. So I got 4 tracks. So I'll do that first. And I'm going to do this for you here. Mute that and then let you. All I'm doing is plugging in like some headphones so you can hear it. That's all. Cool. All right, done. So then you can record, let's say you want to record the bass or the drums. I like Satala, but I also use Koala. So it depends on what you need. Koala for me is more of a sampler, but it can do drums really well, and you can stack drums and et cetera, et cetera. This is more like, to me, more of a drum machine. Like it literally does drums well. I think that's its strength. So you can scroll through drums and find what you want. I just did a little simple four sample kit. That's it. And then I record this. You can hear it's coming through here, right? So it's sending it out to the USB hardware out OP-1. So all I got to do is go on the iPad. Oh, by the way, you can do this with your phone too. But I find it better with the iPad because my fat fingers on the phone are cool when I'm just doing it in front of me. But if I'm trying to like really drum something, I find it a little bit more challenging. If I'm programming a drum, that's one thing, but drumming on the iPhone can be a little bit challenging. It's not impossible, it's just challenging. All right, so then I recorded that in, and then you hear this. And that's literally me drumming it in, not programming anything. Hi-hats all done simultaneously. It is challenging if you don't want to do it simultaneously. Then just do your kick snare together. Because remember on the OP-1, you only got 4 tracks, so you're trying to like do it all on that track. So do at least the kick snare together and then come back and do your hi-hats later. Simple. Done. Okay? So now you got your drums done. You got your chords done. Here's your bass. Now with the bass, the cool part is this is where creating that blank one comes into play. So we're going to go grab it. And the snapshot, blank. Okay. I'm not a huge fan of any of the bass sounds I've heard. I got this one from Rephasers pack called Antique Bass. And then I made my own R&B bass, which was sampled from actually the bass you're going to hear in just a second here. Off of a Trillion software that I have, that I bought. Those basses sound amazing. But I use those. And then that's what I have in audio layer is just a sample of that bass, right? An audio layer. But for some reason, when I record bass into the OP-1, it sounds good. But when I try to use a sample bass in the OP-1, it sounds okay, if that makes sense. It's not terrible, but like, for instance, here you go. Sounds okay. And maybe because I need to tweak it a little bit more, but here's Rephasers. Sounds good, but and both of them are good, but I think that for some reason it just doesn't do it for me. I prefer to play my physical bass or this one right here or use it on the computer. But check this out. So because you got it Bluetooth hooked together, you see it says OP-1 hardware and OP-1 Bluetooth. Just click the Bluetooth now. Go to your snapshot blank. It's distorting really loud. Hold on one second. Let me turn this down. Oh, that's another thing in OP-1 I learned, or I figured out. And maybe it's not the OP-1. When I play in the OP-1, if I turn the volume of a track down, or this input volume. Uh-oh, I think I muted the track. There we go. It records better and a cleaner sound and less distorted. And that, you could say, well, that's like the obvious, stating the obvious. But it ain't always obvious, because when using other devices, sometimes the bass will sound just fine. Like if I record into the SP with my physical bass, I don't get anything like all that distortion. So definitely work with your volume levels when you're recording in, particularly the input volume, so that you get a clear sound. So that's what I did. I recorded the bass in, and this is what it sounds like. I'm telling you now that, to me, in my personal opinion, now this is more jazzy, kind of R&B jazzy music. That sounds better off top. So then the last thing I did was I didn't actually record it, but I'm just going to show you that you can use a lead. So let's say I want to play a lead here. I'm going to set it up that way. Right. And then I didn't record this, but you could just... This is the wrong effect there. So what happened was I saved it, and then I went back to save it again, and I think I cut the effect out that I actually used, which was, let me see if I can find it. I thought I had it on saved on here. I didn't save a preset, maybe. User presets? Nope. That's another thing I gotta remember to do is save my preset. I'm gonna use this tiny ambience. I think it sounds a little, and man, these things are hard to use in here because they're so small, the words. So let's see here. And my fingers are definitely. Now I'm forgetting which key I played in. Then if you want to use the vibrato. Okay, so the purpose of, let me stop this. So the purpose of the blank is just so that you don't get the sound from the feedback sound from an actual instrument playing in while you're trying to play something back into the OP-1. So that would be a cool fix if TE or Teenage Engineering would just create a way for you to be able to do this without having to create a blank, because it does take up space to have something there. But if they could just fix a way where you can play in and back into it to the OP-1, if they have to route it to the headphone so that it doesn't interfere with the sound, that would be pretty amazing. But for now, this is a good workaround by creating the blank. You can use, and using the Bluetooth, you can use Bluetooth, bring those instruments back. You can use, obviously you can put your, do the hands on for the drums, which is pretty easy. And then chords, you can, well, you gotta have a piano or something there, but. Right, to be able to record the chords in. But you gotta turn the Bluetooth off there and make sure the Bluetooth out. So, and that's the great thing about AUM is that you can map the MIDI where it's gonna go. So in this case, you need the MIDI to go out. So you could actually leave that going. Just leave it on to Bluetooth out. So when you're on a piano, that's fine. I get this weird ringing sound that you can hear. It keeps dinging. Not sure why that happens. Okay, it seems like it went away. But every now and then it does that. It's like it keeps cycling through this little one note sound. And I'm not sure if that's a key sticking or what that is causing it. But anyway, so yeah. Well, I guess I would need to turn that back on. Did I turn it off? Okay, Bluetooth. There we go. And now it's not working. I wonder if that's because the Bluetooth went off. Let's pull that back out. Nope, it's still showing connected. AUM. Yeah, it looks right. Has moments like this, and this is the part where I'll say that it, it's good and it's bad, it's glitchy at times, and I'm not sure why it does that, like why it has these moments where it can't, the MIDI will. So I'm not sure if that's the MIDI or if that's more of a Bluetooth thing, or if that's the iPad doing that. I'm not sure. Shift COM. I'm going to turn it off. And then I'm going to redo it, re-advertise it, let it go away. Let's turn it off, see if it'll go off. And maybe it won't go off. So interesting enough, let's see here. Okay, there it went off. Click devices, connect again. Boom, we're connected. All right, let's do this. Throw it aside. Yeah, so it just has moments. That's coming straight into here, and we're using it. Like anything, I guess it has moments. But anyway, so you can see the cool workflow if you do it this way. You could add more tracks in here, but just remember in the OP-1 that you're going to be stacking whatever you add more of. So I find it better for, until they decide, or if they decide, to give us at least 8 tracks, which would be nice. The 4 tracks is a good starter point, but then you're gonna have to go into something else, which for me, it's usually going into the into Ableton. So that's kind of where we're at this point. But at least you could get your bass sound down for the track, and then you can always go back and then just add in more. You see, I'm pretty much just using 3. I didn't even get to the lead to record it, but at least so pretty cool. I think it's a great workflow, and hopefully you picked up something that you can use. This is about as simple as I've seen it. Of course, this would be your headphones, don't forget. And then the rest, or you can play it out the speaker if you really want to. I prefer to use the headphones just because I can hear the sound better. Yeah, and so that's it. All right, I'm out.